gang. We'll have some people here in just here in a few minutes coming in. Already got some people coming in now. Let's go. All right, bet. Um, where this is the volume two of my fighter interview series. I got my man Drew Reed here with me. He is a was a 2023 Golden Gloves champion, right? Or is it this year?
No, it was this year. This year,
This year,
stateside.
2024
Yeah.
Golden Gloves, and then last year regionals so the regionals was at 156.
No. So last year it was the UCBA, the Collegiate National Tournament,
Oh,
2023.
okay, dope. So
Yeah.
kind of what Vernon just did, right? And
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
where did
hmm
where was the his was in Houston? Where was yours at?
Uh, I forgot where, but I know this. We was at a school, VMI, Virginia Military Institute.
Oh, dope,
So I
dope.
want to,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I want to say it's in Roanoke, Virginia, I
Yeah,
think.
Roanoke.
Yeah,
Yeah, Roanoke, Virginia. Dope. That's what's up, man.
yeah.
That's what's up. All right, cool. So let's get right into the interview, man. So I got Andrew Reed with me here. You know, he is a amateur boxer, a lover of the game. He's a U.S. Army soldier as well. Thank you for your service. I'm a veteran myself. Also, I meant to tell you that earlier.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, you're doing a great thing, man. So let's get right into it, though, bro. So let's start with how long have you been boxing?
I've been boxing for about exactly a year and 9 months now.
Man,
It'll make 2 years in July.
man, and for those of y'all that that are watching, maybe you haven't boxed yourself or whatever, to do what this man's done already in just a year and 9 months, that's pretty incredible, bro. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, blow
I
the head up or
appreciate
anything, but
Nah, I
that's
appreciate it,
really impressive,
man.
bro.
Yeah, nah,
Because
sometimes I fascinate myself, but nah, I mean, yeah, I'm in it for the long run. I mean, just put in a lot of work, so
yeah, most definitely, bro. Most definitely, man.
yeah.
That's what's up. So, was there anything that maybe got you started in boxing, or was it just kind of like a peak interest thing? You always kind of liked it as a kid, or like,
I mean, my pops he used to box back in the day. He said, he told me stories about him winning Golden Gloves and getting runner up a couple of times.
yeah,
Um, and he also told me he had a shot at making the Team USA team, but stuff happened. He
yeah.
got responsibilities, or whatever. So,
No, I
but
totally feel you,
nah,
man. And that's tough with
yeah.
boxing too. It's easy to get out of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
yeah, but I played my first sport was football, man. I like basketball too, but I didn't make my middle school basketball team, so I kind of
Yeah,
that my dreams just went away from that. But I was always playing football. I started playing football in the fourth grade.
that's
So
good.
I played football all the way up until college. And I kind of found it because, like, man, crazy story is that the Charlotte twins. So one day I just was on Instagram and I saw something, I saw like one of them, like their fighting highlights, and I started just paying attention to the Charlotte twins a lot. And I ain't gonna lie, like the Charlotte twins will maybe win a box because I like their style, I like how they you know carry themselves, I said, like, being real aggressive or whatever. But yeah, the Charlotte Twins really like made me want to pay attention to boxing. Like I grew up watching boxing, like the Floyd
Yeah,
Mayweather stuff like that. But like I
right.
never actually sat down and watched boxing. But I always wanted to do it though. But no, I played football most of the time. So yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. Funny you say the Charlo brothers, man, because I would say that they were kind of one of the boxers, or the like, a few of the boxers that kind of got me back into it. Like when I was a kid, I watched it. I watched it a lot with my dad. I was kind of young, but my dad used to love like all the Tyson fights and like the early
mm,
Lennox Lewis and like all those guys.
yeah,
Frank Bruno. He's big into heavyweight boxing. So, but
yeah,
he kind of got out of it, man, when you know it was probably say like early 2000, like 2005, six. There was kind of like that dull kind of
yeah,
space in heavyweight boxing that my dad kind of just got out of it. So I did too.
yeah,
And it wasn't really until like probably like I would say the Triple G Canelos and like when Charlos were kind of making their first run and Anthony Joshua, kind of running through the heavyweight division, that kind of got me back into it too. So interesting you say that. So that's actually one of my next questions was if there was any fighters that you felt like you mirrored your game after a little bit. Would you say the Charlos might be kind of someone you look up to in that way?
Oh, nah, I ain't. I'm a fan of a lot of boxers, but I don't really try to copy or yeah, I really don't try to copy anyone's style.
Yeah.
I just like I watch it because like they're entertaining, and then also just like how they fight. So no, I wouldn't say I honestly, but I don't think I have a style like something that Andre Ward said, because I mean that's one of my favorite fighters, Andre Ward, and he's a big I know Bruce Lee had a big influence on his life, and like he always
Yeah.
said his style is formless. He can be whatever you need me to be. So that's the same with me. But not like so a couple of bikes like I mean Charlotte Twins. So like the Charlotte Twins. Um if we was going like old school, so I'm gonna start with old school first. So old school, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin
Yeah.
Hagler. Uh, that's just to name a few. Marvin Hagler, Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah. I'm a big Sweet Pea fan too. I love Sweet
Yeah,
Pea.
man. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
man, dog. Sugar Ray Robinson. I paid attention to some of his fights. Um, cause like bro was like that. And I'm trying to think of one more person. I'm like, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I gotta give the legends they
Right.
do, but like me actually like studying the game under them was I like Tommy Hearns. I love Tommy Hearns. I like
Yeah.
how his flicker jab. So like,
Yeah.
but as far as like me modeling my game after people, like nah. So, but like this, that's
I
like
get you.
old
I
school.
think the best. Yeah, I feel you. I think the best thing you can do is kind of take bits and pieces from every fighter that you watch a little bit
Yeah,
and kind of make your own style out of that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think you're doing it right, man. I don't think there's no like I don't think any of the greats ever like looked at somebody else and was like, I'm trying to be exactly like them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess Tyson said like, there's a few people that he modeled his game after, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously he completely did his own thing. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we got a comment in the comment box down here. James Holiday said, just tuned in. What weight class? So we kind of went over that right in the beginning. So I think what last year you fought in the nationals, the college collegiate nationals in 168, right?
Yeah, 168.
And then this year the Golden Gloves 156, and then
Yeah,
when you're going
yeah.
to do, we'll talk about this more later, but you're fighting next week in regionals, and that'll be also 156, right?
Yeah, 156. So I fight between 165 and 156. But my first fight at 56 was this past Saturday. So
Yeah. How'd you feel?
yeah. I feel good, man. I definitely disciplined myself during count. Um it was the main thing was was me coming down was me losing muscle mass. But
Yeah.
I did the right things. I asked my coach and my teammate on some guidance. They gave me, some guidelines I can follow by, and then the rest was, I had to play a part and make sure I stay consistent with it. So I had one goal, and I like being professional. I like making weight at each of my fights. So I made
Yeah.
a promise with my coach after I had fought in Alabama. February 10th, a day before my birthday, I had told him that I was gonna make 156. I told him I was gonna fight 156 at Golden Glove. So it was a goal of mine. So
And that's one thing a lot of people probably that don't box either, they don't realize, like in their head they go, the average person's like, oh man, I got to lose 10 pounds for the summer, you know what I mean, or whatever. But like people don't really realize how much even 5, 6, 7 pounds can really affect you as an athlete. You know what I mean? Especially
man,
as a combat athlete, where we have specific weight classes. You know what I mean? So,
that's why we got
yeah,
weight classes. They don't understand. That's why we got weight classes.
that's exactly what it is, bro. It's exactly what it is. Um, so I guess, do you think this is something I always like to ask, like athletes that come from other sports? Do you feel like that? And I'm going to actually group the Army in on this too, because
Mhm.
I mean I was in the Army. I felt like when I was in the Army, bro, like I think we're low key athletes, like when we're
Yeah.
in. You know what I mean? In some ways, was there anything you could pull from football or from the Army you think that has helped you at all, like in combat sports? Like, do you think that maybe, I don't know, just like maybe the discipline of it all, or just like the
Most
routine
definitely.
of being, what do you think?
Most definitely. I wish I would have found boxing earlier, but most definitely, like football gave me that structure, and definitely the military aspect, like the army aspect. It gave me the like me being resilient. So like, then you have them bad sparring days, or you have them days where you don't feel 100%. You stay, you become resilient, and you bounce back from like them bad days in the gym, or them bad sparring days you have, or the
Yeah,
days
most
that you just you didn't give 100% in the gym because you feel maybe sprains your wrist, so maybe you just work, because working full time and still doing this, so that's another stress factor. But um, like you might have a bad day at work, and now just that whole day was just terrible. But it's all about the next day, so you don't really focus too much in the past with boxing. But yeah, most definitely. I'm glad I played football. Football definitely gave me the fitness aspect as far as the mental toughness. The army too. I mean, I did combatives in army, but like not like no
Yeah.
boxing, but we did like the little pugic sticks.
Right.
And funny story, I had got like I was in basic training. I went to basic training down in Fort Bend in Georgia. It's now called Fort Moore. I went to basic
Yeah. Yeah.
training
Yeah.
January of 2017, and
Okay.
while I was down there, I had got the scuffling. Like my first sergeant, we was in the sand pit. We was doing pugic sticks. It was pugic stick day, and I called out the dude that I had beef with at reception, and he was like I said, I was beating him with the pugic sticks, but then
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
I threw my pugic stick down, and he had his pugic stick. This is a true story. I threw my pugic stick down, and he still has pugic stick. So like I was just basically like bobbing and weaving naturally. So eventually, I
Right.
hit him with a right hand, dropped him down. It my first was in stopped the whole thing, put me in a rear naked chokehold. But then eventually I calmed down, and he was like, "What's wrong with you, soldier?" I was like, dude was talking stuff at reception, so I was want to fight him. So they let us fight. So that was like
Yeah.
my first time, like actually, like well, not even my actual fight, my first time fighting, but like that was like my first time ever, like for real deal, like I don't know, like getting out of like character, So like
Yeah.
I don't know, something just came over me that day. But yeah, so I got my first boxing match in the army, So
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I
so we
did
had
that. Man,
gloves on.
honestly, Pugil Sticks Day, bro, was one of my favorite days, man. I ended up I was on the other end of it, bro. Somebody called me out, bro. I guess there was some unknown beef that I had going on,
Hey,
and
people don't know it gets serious, man. Especially on People
yeah,
Day, cause like y'all, you can't fight. You get, you fight, you're in trouble. But
right.
yeah, when People Stick came out, a lot of people got called out, man. Like
Oh yeah.
it
Well,
was
especially because
smoking
like you're
hell.
just like you're there, bro. You're like for those of y'all that obviously never served, it's like you're around dudes all day, so like you're getting that like you're kind of getting that testosterone gassed up all day. You know what I mean? And like you said, there's so many rules, and then drill sergeants are running around roasting you all day. You know what I mean? So you're like, man, you just be sitting there mad. Some nights you're like, man, I'm so mad. You know? So yeah, I feel you, bro. Like yeah, it's that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, and a funny thing, a buddy of mine told me with like, because I did the combatives. I think I did up to like combatives up to like level what, like 2 or 3. But
Hmm.
that's like jujitsu they do. So I wish they would actually do like
Yeah.
more boxing style combatives as opposed to more of like the groundwork stuff. You know what I mean? Because I feel
Yeah.
like they do enough in combatives in the army to like so you just go get whooped. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they don't like they never actually teach you enough. You have to like go out and seek that other
Yeah.
places. I
My drill
feel.
sergeant literally told me, he said, "Don't leave basic training thinking that you can go whoop somebody." Excuse my
Yeah.
language, but
No, you're good. No,
yeah.
it's the truth, bro. It's hey,
Like,
he's not lying,
excuse
bro.
my language, cause cause like a lot of cats that go to they go through that process. They think they come out like invincible, but
Right. And
it's
hey,
still
bro, that is
reality,
not the
man.
case. But listen, that's a lot of people that step into the boxing gym for the first time
That
too.
too,
They think that they're
though.
all that
That
too.
yeah,
You know
that
what I
too.
mean?
A lot of people,
So
a lot
let's
of
perfect. That's actually perfect. Let's transition to that. Let's transition into the first day that you walked into the boxing gym. Let's talk about that. Was it something you started doing? I mean, I know you said you had that little bit of a sparring bout there in the army, but
hmm
would you say that like you kind of fell in love with it immediately, or was it something you kind of had to like ease into, or what are you thinking?
No, I was in love with it already, man. From watching it, and
Yeah.
I told myself I can do it. So I know, whatever anything I set my mind to, I end up accomplishing it. Through the grace of God, also. So no, man, I was like, as soon as I started, what fight was it? I think it was the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. I had watched that, and I was
Was
just
the
like,
very first one?
nah, it was I think it was like the third one. It's the third one,
Oh,
and
third one. Just the talk was that. That was hard to believe, bro. That was what? That was almost 2 years ago now. That third one,
yeah, yeah. So I
bro.
had
Time flies, bro.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like I had watched that fight, but then also like I said, I had watched I want to say Jamel Charlo when he became undisputed. If I'm not mistaken, he became undisputed back in 2022, right?
Yeah, he fought. It was the rematch. I might be tweaking, but I thought it was Brian Castano. Somebody in the chat, if you remember who it was, I think it was Brian Castano. He had that rematch with
Yeah.
him or something like that.
Yeah, so I had watched that fight and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to do this." Cause like I said, I'm a big Charlotte Twins fan, so um, I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm ready to do it." So uh, it was my sophomore year in college or something like that. So it was that spring. I had wrote it down. It's like New Year's passed by with it, so I had wrote it down in my New Year's resolution book that I wanted to, you know, start boxing. Either way, if I
Yeah,
just got to be in the gym or what I'm saying, just do it on my own self-taught. But I did some researching in boxing because Nashville, they're not really, it's not a real big at that time. It hasn't been a real big boxing town. Only person that's came out of Nashville is Caleb Plant.
yeah.
Um,
That's actually my
so
favorite fighter, believe it or not. I'm a
yeah,
big Caleb
yeah,
Plant.
I haven't named any of my current like top five fighters that I like. I got a long list. I look at everybody, man, like
Yeah,
from Stephen Fulton to
yeah,
Raymond Ford. Like he just recently won his title.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of boxing, man. I look at everybody and I only just pay attention to the stars. So,
Yeah.
you know,
When you said Castano, yeah. So we were right. Yep, yep. Charlo
yeah,
beat Castano in that rematch.
yeah.
Which is
So
funny you mentioned Ray Ford, bro. Is when I first started I started this show about a year ago, bro. Me and my co-host at the time, he's in the chat. He's the guy commenting right now.
oh
We like made a list of like our top 5 prospects that we thought that would make it big in 2023, 2024, and I picked Ray Ford as one of those guys, and I was
oh
like,
word,
man, and bro, he's just like been taking off ever since. I don't know if
yeah,
he must
man.
have heard the Fight Night Forecast hype him up or something, but man, he's been taking off doing, man. He killed it. That fight he had too. That was only a couple weeks, 3 4 weeks ago. Man, he
Yeah, yeah.
killed it, bro.
Watched the
Looks
whole
so
fight.
good.
I like the how he was facing adversity in the fight, but
Yeah,
his corner was telling him the right thing to do. He just as you build throughout when people start when you start a fight, you build that trust between you and your coach. Y'all start trusting each other. So like I felt like his corner trusted him. He got the job done.
yeah,
I liked it how he got it done in fashion too. So
most definitely. He had a really tough Eastern European opponent too. Those dudes,
oh
man, are just
yeah,
tough
yeah,
dudes, bro. Like you never when you get in there with one of those like Vitches, you know what I mean? Those last names, like where it's like anything ends with a
yeah.
bitch or like a,
Like
you're
it's
like, man, I'm like, bro,
yeah, like from how you say his name? Jabanka. He from
yeah,
Kazakhstan.
yeah, 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 yeah,
He's
yeah,
he 160, bro.
yeah. Oh,
Legit,
Janabek.
man.
You talking about
Yeah,
Janabek? Yeah,
Janabek. Yeah,
bro, man,
legit,
I'm
man.
telling you, bro, he's the new boogeyman at 160, bro. I think he's. I mentioned it in a past episode a while back. I was like, I think he could be if he plays his cards right, bro. He could be the next Triple G at 160. I think
No, most definitely,
if he does it right, you know what I
most
mean. Just
definitely.
he'll be southpaw this time, you know what I mean. So
No, most definitely. He's right now. He's the best in that division at the moment,
most
from what
definitely,
I've
yeah,
seen. But yeah. So uh, watching that fight, they got me, wanting to do boxing more. And then like I said, I did some research on Instagram and I found Fighters Nashville. So that was the first gym that I trained at. I trained at Fighters Nashville for it was about 8 months, about almost a
yeah,
year. So I trained out of there. I met Christy Holbert. She's a fantastic coach. Billy
yeah,
Flacco and Ashley, Coach Ashley.
yeah,
Yeah, Christy, she's an amazing coach. She coached in the 2012 Olympics. I want to say
yeah,
that was the first Olympics they allowed the women's to fight in Olympics.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because she got to
Uh,
coach Clarissa Shields, and I think what Errol
yeah,
Spence was on there too. Errol Spence was there, and a few other
yeah.
dude. Yeah, I mean, since I've been with fighters, bro, like I mean, I can't say anything but good, good things about them, man. They just
No,
have
most
such a
definitely, most
good
definitely. I
teaching
always,
style, and
yeah,
it's
most
just
definitely, most
yeah.
definitely.
And they like even last night, or was it? Yeah, well, it was yesterday. So I actually got to meet you in person, which is super cool because
Mhm.
I told Vern that I was interviewing, and he was for you guys that don't know, Vernon was the last guy I just interviewed. If you guys watched that last week, but Vernon was. I told him I was interviewing you, and he goes, "Oh, that's my boy." He's like, "He's right over there," and I was like, "What? All right." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "Right here." And he
Yeah,
like pointed over to me, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I gotta go chop it up with him before, like, you know what I mean? Go meet him in person, bro." So
yeah.
that was cool getting to see you there. But dude, they have. I swear, bro, because I've only had one bout myself, but I've been to a bunch of other bouts, and
Mhm.
I've just seen the way that like USA boxing can be ran sometimes, and it's just kind of a cluster. You know what I mean? And I swear every single home show we've had at Fighters is some of the smoothest like USA boxing operation that I've ever seen. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the way Christie runs it. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, most definitely, man, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot of pressure off the fighters and coaches. Man, if it's organized and it's ran on time, there's no hiccups.
Yeah.
Everybody, the smoother the fight goes, like everybody can, it's just a better overall experience when you got a organized gym and an organized event. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Most
I send them nothing but respect and love. They taught me the fundamentals of boxing. They know I'm talented, and I appreciate them for taking their time out and coaching me during that time while I was there. So yeah,
Most
but
definitely. Yeah. And listen, man, everyone over there from when I told them I was interviewing and everything, bro, they were giving you all kinds of love, bro. So it's definitely reciprocated for sure. They were like, "Oh
nah,
man, he's a good
crazy.
dude," this and that. So yeah, most definitely. So you've recently switched to Music City Boxing.
Yeah,
So
yes, sir.
is there? I'm not too familiar. I'm new to Nashville. Only been there about a year. So is there? Would you say there's like? I mean, is there any kind of I don't know what the word would be like culture change at all? Like, is there anything you noticed like when you went to a different gym where you were like, oh, this is a little they just do things a little different or
Oh
anything like
yeah,
that?
most definitely, most definitely. I'm not gonna lie. So just to put it in like comparison, like I said, like both gyms are both like ran, well, like organized, a
Most
real
definitely.
organized gym.
Yeah.
I can say definitely, uh, with Fighters Nashville, like they got like how like a good comparison like for like college football. So like fall camp, you got time slots or whatever. So like
Right.
they literally have their workouts, like their practices, and they got it from A to B of what they're gonna do. They already have the drills that we're gonna do and all of that. Same thing,
Right.
same
Right.
thing with Music City Boxing. We haven't had we haven't had a comp practice in a minute because with all the boxers that attend there, like Christy Forkins, the Olympic, she won the 2023 Olympic trials.
Yeah.
Um, and then like they got so many boxes. Well, we got so many boxes at Music City that you know. So it's like it was So when I first came there, I kind of was like trying to just test it out to see if I liked it. But yeah, it was definitely a culture shock. It's a lot more intense. I'm not saying it's not intense at Fighters Nashville, like they have intense sparring and stuff like that. But I came in that
Right.
gym, you got pros in there. So like my first time going in there, I was watching. I'm trying to think who was sparring at that time. But it was 2 pros in there, and they was sparring. They were going at it, man. Like, um, I mean, it's a doghouse there, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
No,
like you're gonna
I
get put.
feel you.
Yeah, there's no training wheels. It's like, man, if you wanna, you know, if you wanna go out there and you wanna, what I'm saying, like spar and they take you through a process. Same thing with Fighters Nashville, but you know, I feel like the coaches put you in they put you in a deeper water, and they want you to you love it. I ain't gonna lie, like you just get good work there, and so you want more of it. So like they don't throw you out there to the sharks unless you get beat up, but like
Right.
they give you a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and then eventually they let you go out and show them what you've learned. So um
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I like both gyms, but definitely when I was paying attention to Music City, I saw their boxers and what their boxers was doing, and I was just curious, of how they ran things, and I like how they ran things, and I got that. I had reached out through Christy Forkins. Um, I had reached out through her, and and then I got in touch with Coach Stevie. That's the head coach there, and
Yeah.
I just, we chopped it up. They told me to come by, see how it is, so I was there for about 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like it, you know what I'm saying? So stuck around,
Nice.
and I've been there ever since, But most definitely, I like both gyms, but like I said, it's just a little bit more intense, like because there's a lot of people travel to Music City Boxing to spar and get work in, so like you
Right.
getting a little bit of everybody, and it'd be like high level sparring there, so you know.
Yeah, most definitely. I remember, bro, the first time I walked into a gym, because man, like the first gym I started training in, bro, like y'all. I mean, I know you mentioned Nashville maybe doesn't have the biggest, um, boxing scene, but
Yeah, not
like
now,
where
but I
I
mean,
grew up.
yeah, not then, but now it's
Yeah,
like
now
this
no,
year,
yeah, it's
like this year, man. Like
yeah.
Nashville going, like people gonna know about Nashville. Like
Oh, for
I, and
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
saying that,
it's popping off.
yeah, I'm saying that, like, like people, if people don't know about Nashville now, they'll know about us. They'll know about us by the end of the year. Like they'll know about
Most
Nashville because
definitely.
we definitely
Yeah,
becoming a
it's
boxing town.
bro, it for sure is. And like even like so I've been there about a year. Even like from when I got there till now, I think it's changed dramatically. But
Yeah.
so like where I grew up in a kind of a smaller town outside of Chicago. And Chicago obviously has I mean, it's an insane boxing town. Runs mad deep. But
Yeah.
this little small town that I grew up in, bro, there was like one small gym, and it was mainly kickboxing and Muay Thai. So they kind of like shoved the boxers to the side a little bit in a way. Not
Mhm.
hating on them, but I learned all my fundamentals there and all that stuff. But you know, they just didn't have a lot going on, especially in the pro scene, and not even really like not too much in the amateur boxing
Mhm.
realm either. So I remember walking to my first gym, bro. We used to do these like gym field trips. We would like go spar at other
Mhm.
gyms and all that stuff. I remember walking in my first gym with some pros in there, bro, and just watching them work out. And I was like, I mean, I was mind blown, bro. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I was watching them like they were sparring, they were doing like partner drills, all this stuff, and it was just crazy to see like pros. And of course, they're like, it wasn't any big names or anything, but it was still just dope to see. I'm like,
Yeah. They're pro. They're
they were
professional.
walking us through
So
the gym, and they were like, "Oh, this is where our pros train." And I was like, in my eyes, a young boxer, I'm like, pros. You know what I mean? You get the stars in your eyes. You're like,
yeah.
whoa, bro, this is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have been 0-39 for all I know. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
they were pro boxers in my head.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, facts.
man,
I
this is
respect
lit.
any pro boxer, man. I don't care what y'all record is. I mean, of course,
Right?
just for marketing reasons, but yeah,
Yeah.
not mean to cut you off, but yeah, I respect
No, you good.
any person that takes that step to go pro, that stepped in that ring, any person that stepped in that ring ever in their life, I
Yeah.
respect them. So,
Most definitely. I say the same thing with even with sparring or even with these influencer guys. A lot of people are they're quick to hate on these YouTube influencer guys, but like, you know, if they're willing to step in the ring, bro. Anytime you step in the ring, you
yeah.
could you could come out the ring different than when you came in. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
and you can't fault them because they're bringing an audience with them. So like,
right,
a lot of they audiences, they seem like they might be used to their content, but they're bringing boxing into around their face, and now more people are paying attention to boxing. So like,
right, most
you can't
definitely.
fault them for that. Of course, if you're a pro, you actually really getting out the ground. I can see why you be offended, but I mean,
Yeah,
they're bringing more of an audience to boxing. They're revamping boxing. So you
yeah.
know,
I've said it from the jump on this show for a long time that I feel like you know any eyes on boxing is good eyes. Especially
most
like at one
definitely.
point there was a lot of people that were like, man, boxing's dead. Like especially when UFC started taking off and
Oh
started getting
man,
these big, and people were like, man, finally boxing. They're about to kill boxing, and it's like I feel like these past like 3 something years, bro, has really revived boxing in a lot of ways, man. And I
most
think that
definitely.
the YouTube movement a little bit has, you can't lie and say that it doesn't have something to do with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's for
Mhm.
sure. But so let's switch gears for just a second. Let's go into your very first bout. So let's talk about, you know, did you know, I don't know, let's get into your mind for a minute. Let me like what was going through your mind? First bout, you know, is there anything you kind of did to curb your nerves maybe a little bit? Because I mean, we all know when we get in the ring, there's a little bit of nerves.
Mhm.
What was going through your mind?
Man, y- like I said, you fought in about before. So
Yeah,
um, like the night before the fight, like I was just, man, I couldn't go to sleep. I was
yeah,
excited, but also nervous. Um, my first fight was in Buckhead. I think it's in Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta,
yeah, yeah. Right
Buckhead,
outside.
whatever. Yeah. So yeah. So I was with Vernon. I was with Vernon. Cause I know Vernon had talked about this. I was with Vernon, Edward,
Yeah.
and Julius. I was with
Yeah.
them. I was with it was me, Edward, and Vernon's first fight.
Okay.
So we all fought down there, and man, like just like I said, like as soon as you and like as soon as we pulled up, my heart started racing. And of
Yeah.
course I'm playing it cool, you know what I'm saying? I got my hood on, so I got my
Yeah.
AirPods and I'm chilling, so I'm showing a poker face. we walking
Yeah.
down the steps because it was like in a little mall plaza looking thing. So we walking down the steps, and then you see the rings, you see the gym, you just looking at the atmosphere. Like it was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope, but also it was also a nerve wracking experience. I definitely enjoyed every bit of it, from the weigh-ins to doing the physicals, from people coming up to you and asking what because you had some of the officials that come and ask, oh, so it's your first fight, and then you have somebody behind you here, and they're like, oh, then you start chopping it up with them, but they really trying to see if you're fighting you, you know what I'm saying? But
Right. Right.
no, first fight it was cool, like, cause I rehearsed, like, when I was with Fighters Nashville, they were big on like visualization. So we did a lot of mental training there at Fighters Nashville. I built a good mental training there and knew how to
Yeah.
train my mind mentally, and so just I went ahead and already visualized me fighting that day. So when it was about time for me to go up there, so funny story. So I had brought pre-workout with me to to my fight because I'm thinking, because I used to before I started boxing, I was like really into fitness, so I was trying to become a bodybuilder or whatever, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just didn't want to continue to do that. But I stayed in the gym, but so I had took some, taking some pre-workout. I'm thinking it's gonna give me an edge of like endurance or whatever, or that edge, and
Yeah.
didn't do it for me at all. So I had took some pre-workout, and there was a situation where it was too many bouts, so they had to change the time limit down to 1 minute. So we fought at 1 minute. So
Yeah, that's what
like
Vernon was saying. I was like, man, to even for your first fight to even get in there, and just try to get working in 1 minute, bro. Like
man, it was it
that's
was it,
crazy.
it was crazy, man. That was a prime. That's a prime. Not trying to throw them no shade. That's a prime example of a gym not being organized or not having an organized event. You know what I'm saying? So like 32 bouts, and we starting to fight at what 3 o'clock? Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. That's curtains. That's dead.
Right.
Like so, but anyways, like the
That's
fast
late.
forward, yeah, I had took some pre workout. I warmed up to so when that came about, I warmed up too early. Um, I was definitely gassed out from the pre workout. The pre workout and me being nervous, so like I was already my heart was already pumping. So when I got in the ring, went to that ring of the walk. It was like a movie, man. So like I said, I remember it vividly. Like walking out there, it was a bunch of people, just yell, screaming, yelling, and
Yeah.
I got in the ring. You hear the people talking smack about me on the other
Right.
side of the room. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah.
you got the other person I'm gonna fight. He got his family friends out there. So like,
Yeah.
it was cool. Like, but I had saw so right before I went up there, I had saw my boy Edward. It was either Edward or Vernon. I had saw them fight, and I can't remember if they won or lost though. But I had saw them fight, and I was like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
next. I'm gonna put on for the team. So um, yeah, man, that fight, that first fight, the first minute, I had got caught with like a big shot because I came out there just trying to fight and not box.
Right.
I had got caught with a wild shot to do with southpaw. He was about 6'2". Like this is at 165, so so I was
Yeah.
fighting at 165. I fight at 165, but during those tournaments, I was fighting up or down. But yeah, I had got caught with a big shot. You said what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I got caught with a big shot. So I lost the first round. Came back to the corner. I had a adrenaline dump. I just was done. I didn't want to even continue, but I was like, man, if I don't do that, I'm gonna look like a fool. So uh, at that
Right.
time, Coach Billy was in my corner. So yeah, he was, telling me what I needed to do, adjustments I needed to make. I came out there the second round, made the adjustments. Started pushing forward more. Um, then I got hit in my eye. I couldn't see at the end of the at the end of the second round. I couldn't see out of my left eye because I got hit in my eye. I don't know if he had. I don't know if it was from the sweat or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't see out my left eye. So like in the third round, I came out. I was partially damn near blind. So I came out there, and I ain't gonna lie. I just had to finish. So like I finished the fight. And it felt
Yeah.
good getting my hand raised. So I won my first fight. Um, it felt good, but I was also disappointed in myself at the same time because I feel like I should have did better because I visualized the fight being different. I visualized, me just like for real deal, you know, like dominate when I won by split decision, whatever. But it was a good experience. It was a good learning lesson. You know
Most
what I'm saying?
definitely,
So,
most definitely.
but yeah, overall, man, I had a it was man, is it man, it's a range of it's an emotional roller coaster, man, because you know
Yeah.
you get confident, then you get
Mhm.
then you don't know, you know, you go down, you're like, damn, is this man gonna knock me out in front of his people? So I'm not gonna get knocked. I might lose my first fight, and you
Right.
know, confidence raised up, you get a little pep talk from your coach. This this keeps going up and down, and then eventually, you know, you
Yeah.
take a deep breath. You just like, man, you know, I'm here now, so can't back out.
Might as well do it.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
And for those y'all that don't know Coach Billy, man, Coach Billy's got this like weird vibe to him. Not weird in a bad way, but like it's a very calm, like firm. You
Yeah.
know, like when he's in your corner talking to you. Then like I haven't fought under them just yet, but you know, I've
Mhm.
even like he'll be in my corner when we spar, you know, or whatever. And like when he's talking to me, it's like this weird like calm but firm, you know what I mean, feeling. So like I don't know, it's kind of a cool, comforting kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So but it's definitely one of those things where you're right, man. Like with boxing, bro, especially when you are competing, even when you're training all the time, bro, it's like you'll hit these mountains, you know, where you feel like you're on top of the world. But every mountain you hit, bro, there's a valley, bro, where you're
Nah,
like,
facts,
bro, am I even good enough to be here, bro? Is that
facts,
dude across the way
facts.
gonna mollywop me? You know what I mean? Like it's a very, very it's true, bro. It's a weird sport though, and I know you understand it because you're like because you'll be like, bro, like especially when you get in there with somebody who's got like you know, 3 times the fights you got, and you're like, "What am"
Yeah,
like, there's been times where I'm like, I'm fighting an open fighter in sparring, you know, and I'm like, "What am I doing here, bro?" You know, like, I'm holding my own, but it's like, this dude still levels better than me, but it's
yeah,
like one of those things where you have to realize it's perspective. Like, that
yeah,
guy's just all he is, he's just a little bit further along than you are. He's no
yeah.
different than you are. You know what
Man,
I mean?
crazy story. Crazy story. It's crazy that you mentioned that crazy story. My fourth fight was against an open fighter. So I fought in a
Really?
3 rounder before. Yeah, you know how you know if you don't have if you have under 10 fights, you're supposed to fight 2 minutes. Yeah, now
Right.
it was like when I transitioned to Music City Boxing. Yeah, I fought this dude named Lance Holloway. He's a solid fighter, very solid.
Yeah.
I had fought him. He had competed in the Detroit qualifiers back in 2023 in March in
Yeah.
Detroit. And yeah, like when my coach told him now, my coach told me I was fighting him. I looked him up. I was like, bro got 19 fights. I have only 3. You know,
I know.
but you know, but when I got there, like I said, like I told you in the beginning, you know, when I got there, I just got a lot of good work, so it made me gain a lot of confidence. But yeah, that was just you know I had to bring that up because I was like you know definitely you know because in sparring you know you sparring everybody you know
Right.
especially if like one of your teammates is open so like um yeah that was just it was just yeah I had a quick little story to input that in when you said that.
No, most definitely, bro. And like, I think funny you mentioned that too, because I feel like in a lot of ways, bro, social media can kind of be a double-edged sword when it comes to your confidence, bro. Because I think that
Hmm.
like, you know, it helps in some way because you know, dudes, and I'm victim of it too, bro. Every time I get, you know, learn a new combo or whatever, the first thing I want to do is like, I'm trying to go post it on Instagram. You know what I mean? But like, you you can learn from your opponents that way. Like, you know, so say you like you found out dude's name, you're like, I'm gonna go Google him, or you know, go
Hmm.
look him up on Instagram or whatever. You can kind of see some of his strengths and weaknesses, but on the flip side, like that's a double edged sword too, where you like
Yeah, it
it's
builds
almost
it,
better
it
sometimes
builds
going there
it
not
builds
knowing.
self yeah it builds false confidence. So like you still doing too
Yeah,
much film study because like don't like especially if somebody hasn't fought in about 3 months or 4 months, you know they took a little break to get back in, you know, sharpen their tools. Somebody gonna come out completely different, and I'm a victim of that because like I said, I had paid attention. I had watched his fight with this dude. He fought at number 2 rank. Um, what weight class was it? 65? I think it was 65. He had fought this one. He was at that time. The dude was ranked number 2 in our division, and I just watched that fight over and over and over again, just like, trying to look find patterns. And
yeah,
the day of the fight, it went completely different. You know what I'm saying? you know, I was studying him to do a certain, you know, certain moves, and the man came out. He was doing. He came out southpaw. In the first round, like the end of the first round, he changed to
yeah.
southpaw. I didn't even notice it until like the second round. I was like, this man switching back and forth. So, definitely, social media can definitely be a big. It can be a plus, and also it can be a big negative.
Most
But
definitely.
I definitely I
Yeah,
don't post. yeah, I don't post sparring, I don't post uh any of my fights. I thought about at the end of this year, Lord willing, I was gonna put something together, but I really don't like doing that because, like I said, I
Yeah,
know, what I'm saying, especially like in the boxing, because like especially if you got you get matched up with somebody, you know their name, you gonna look them up on Instagram, you
right,
gonna try to find, you gonna do some type of research, especially if they from the city. So um
right.
yeah, nah, I don't post anything. I want my opponent to, I want them to make adjustments on the fly. So I don't try to
Most
give them
definitely.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've kind of leaned away from doing it too. Like I'll post pretty general stuff. You know what I mean? If I do post anything like about training, but
yeah,
like I think you're right. I think it's better just to like not give them free game. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of these guys. Like I'll see dudes, and I mean, and listen, I'm all for boxing content, bro. I mean, my explore page, all that stuff on everything is boxing, boxing, boxing. So
hmm,
like, I'm cool with it, man. Like I love seeing new stuff like that, but sometimes I do feel like I'm like, man, this dude's giving game away, like
hmm.
his own. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like if it,
I might, I might show like a little snippet on my story for like me hitting the miss with my coach or me on the heavy bag, but I'm never like it might be a 15-second clip.
yeah,
I'm not doing nothing longer than a minute. You're not finna notice any tendencies or any flaws in my game, cause and if
right,
even if you do, I'm already probably working on fixing them. So
most definitely,
definitely not trying to give no free game to nobody.
right. But on the flip end, it's like in this day and age, if you're not posting stuff on social media and you're not self marketing yourself out here, then you're
Yeah,
kind of making a mistake too. You know what I mean? You're doing yourself a
yeah,
disservice because like I know dudes, man, that like they're making money. They're amateurs, bro, making money off of all kinds of crazy stuff, just like sponsorships on Instagram because they look good on a bag.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just how it is, man. It's
That's
the
the
day and
same.
age
I
we live in.
mean, you give or take, man. Like, but everybody journey is different. So I don't try to really pay attention that much. So
Right.
I'm going the traditional route. I'm gonna earn it. Not saying they didn't earn it by doing that, but I don't want to be that type of fighter. So
No, I get it. Yeah, no, I totally get it, bro. And like I like that you say that, bro. I like that you say that. Everybody's journey is different, bro, because that's so true. And it's no different in boxing than it is anything else. Acting, whatever you want to, painting, whatever you want to
hmm,
draw it out to be. Everybody's path is different, and
yeah,
sports, and then combat sports even deeper than that. Is no exception. Everyone's got their own individuality, their own path. Not everybody's gonna be a decorated amateur. Not everybody's gonna be a pro. Not everybody's gonna try to go to the Olympics. You know what I mean? So it's just it's cool to see everybody's different paths, man. And that's actually why I've been wanting to get into this fighter interview series for a minute. I've been doing this podcast for just about a year now, and I'm just like I've been telling people for a long time. I'm like, man, I want to start interviewing fighters because I think that it's just cool. To get spotlight on everybody else's um, journeys, but at the same time, just hearing everybody's story, like where they came from, what what got them into
hmm,
boxing, and then and making it to where the viewers are able to relate to you now. As
hmm,
opposed to you just maybe coming on your social media saying whatever. Now it's like they can be like, "Dang, I really got to know Drew a little more today." You know what I mean? And
hmm,
inspire somebody that way. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
most definitely. Well, let's get into this last little topic, man, and we'll wrap it up. I know it's Sunday night, bro. I want you to enjoy the rest of your night.
yeah,
So let's talk about the tournaments that you've been in. So, um, do you feel like I talked to Vernon about this a little bit last week? Do you feel like when you got into more of the tournament style as opposed to the local shows, like do you feel like there's any added pressure, any kind of any difference like that you felt when you were doing the Golden Gloves in the national tournament?
yes. Cause yeah, you don't wanna lose the first fight, cause if you lose the first fight, you can't participate in the tournament. And
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that you're coming out of pocket. So like they don't know about you helping to put in money to rent the Airbnb while y'all go up there. They think
yeah,
y'all putting in money, so like y'all putting in gas money, food. You having to take off from work if you working.
yeah.
So
Plane ticket if you have to fly somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean that you don't you definitely wanna make sure that you take advantage of anything. So
yeah,
definitely when I went into the UCIBA tournament, national tournament, last year, I was like, I was gonna definitely come back home with something.
Yeah.
It was, you know, so and then as far as with Golden Gloves, she was in this, it was hometown. I didn't want to lose in front of my friends and family. But I'll probably mention that later as far as like what happened during Golden Gloves. It was like a whole, it was a match bout, but my opponent he didn't, yeah, he didn't make weight or whatever. So
Yeah.
so tournaments like that's a missed opportunity. So when coaches is on your butt about making weight, you don't want to come all the way you don't want to drive all the way somewhere and then you can't fight because of weight, or you don't want to perform bad because you focus on what's going on back home. So like for any boxer that goes to like these tournaments or they attend a tournament, you need to be a little bit more selfish and think about you, because like you sacrificed a lot just to get to this point. So um but yeah,
Most
like
definitely.
I feel a lot more pressure, but I feel like I perform under pressure. I think I'm definitely a person that definitely perform like well under pressure, because I like having that pressure on me. If I feel like I don't have pressure on me, then I feel like I'd be too relaxed. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be relaxed coming in anyway, but I feel like me knowing that something's at stake, then I think I perform a lot better.
No, I definitely get that, bro. I
Yeah,
think it's important to have that good middle ground where you are relaxed up here, but you know the pressure's on. So it's
yeah,
like you're not, because the minute you lose this up here, the rest of the night's gonna not go the way you want. So
yeah, most definitely.
but having that pressure on you, that good stress, what I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
It adds so much to your game knowing that there's so much at stake too. You know what I mean? So,
most definitely.
um, so let's talk. So you won the Golden Glove. You
Yeah, I can hear you now.
you won. So you won the gloves this year. And you yesterday at the bouts, you told me you were fighting in about what 4 or 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Fighting.
just want to
Yeah,
give you a little
either
timeline.
this. Yeah, either this Friday or Saturday.
Okay, cool. And that's good. That's regionals, right? So that's just the next step after Golden Gloves, pretty much.
Yeah,
And then
regionals.
from there, I'm not trying to get you to look too far ahead, but from there, what you would do nationals, right?
Yeah. I won't be able to participate in nationals because I'm not open.
Okay.
So I mean, regionals is probably like my pinnacle of this year. But I do plan on after this getting a couple more club show fights to where I can fight open. Cause I mean, I can try to participate in a tournament with less than 10 fights, but you know, you have to go through your coach and they have to basically get it wavered off. But I'm just following the process, man. I'm just following the process and enjoying the journey, but not trying to rush it. But yeah, you can say for next year. Next year, I'll definitely be shooting for nationals at 156 or whatever weight class I'm at, in that time. So, but nah. Sadly, I can only go to regionals. So yeah, for this year.
But still, at the same time, bro, listen, that's nothing to hang your hat on, bro. I mean, that
Yeah,
you're living your journey. You're at where you're at, and you just have to kind of you know go from there.
yeah,
So, like
most
you said,
definitely.
next year. So let's talk about a few future goals, and I'll get you off here. But so what would you say? Like, are you wanting to ride the amateurs out for a little bit, and then are you thinking about pro? Or are you thinking maybe just Olympics and be done? Maybe just a small amateur career? What are you thinking?
Man, it's all in God's hands. I'm just really just executing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely want to participate in the Olympics. That's one of the, I make Team USA. Um, so I definitely want to have that opportunity to compete for the Olympics, or to compete in Olympic trials for a spot on Team USA to compete for the country. As far as pros, what I'm saying, like I said, if I have an opportunity with that, I don't mind going pro, but I'm focusing on one step at a time. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
be the best amateur I can be, and then whenever pro comes around, I'll try to be the best pro I can be. So Right now, I'm just trying to
That's
be an Olympian. Be able to market myself well and be able to handle business on both sides in the ring and outside the ring. Just be a marketable athlete. So whatever boxing takes me at, like I said, it's in God's hands. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a goal of mine. So I guess you can say definitely trying to become an Olympian for the 2028 Olympics.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna hit you with this. This is something I'm gonna start. I meant to ask Vern this last week, but we ran out of time.
yeah,
So my little bonus question, and this is my last one. I'll let you go.
yeah.
So in your head, bro, I like to ask people this: Are you? Do you think that Olympic gold is more prestigious than World Championship gold, or vice versa? Which one do you think? I think it's a tough question, bro. And there's no wrong answer.
Um,
So whatever you say, there's real no wrong answer.
I'm not gonna. I mean, it really depends on the opposition you face. Um, and also comes down to the judges because there's been plenty of fights where the person feel like they got robbed,
Right.
in both the Olympics and in the professional world. So
Almost
I'm gonna
definitely.
say I'm gonna say it's 50-50. It's prestigious
Yeah.
for you to make Team USA, and then for you to compete in the Olympics, you're a prestigious athlete. You're a prestigious athlete when you get a world title, or you have the chance to fight for a world title. So, you know, either way, you'll be a world class athlete in both aspects. So I feel like it's even.
Yeah. I agree with that, bro. I think it's a good. I think at the end of the day, it probably is a 50-50. You just like I always love seeing when people kind of like guys that only did the Olympics and never
Mhm.
went pro. They kind of beef with the guys that like never tried out for the
I
Olympics, and
mean,
you know,
like you said earlier, maybe their style wasn't fit for the amateurs, and then you got
right?
some people that when they go pro, their style doesn't fit the pros. So
Yeah.
it's
Which
all
is very
about.
true. That's something that's very underlooked.
Yeah,
Not everybody's style translates to one or the other. Sometimes you're just a
yeah,
really good amateur, and you like the pros is not for you. On the flip end, there's some dudes that can. Actually a lot of dudes that can probably just skip amateurs and go straight pro and just
yeah.
work better with that style. Because it's
Yeah, I, I
even
was
though
I
they
was I was one of those. I mean, I was one of those people when I first started. I was like, man, I'm gonna get about maybe 25 to 50 fights, and I'm gonna go pro. And but I got as I got in the sport more and I started learning more about it, and the more I got the love for it, I was like, nah, I want to enjoy the journey. So I
yeah
just want to, I don't want to rush anything. I want to enjoy the process, man. A lot of people they want to go pro and make money, like I say, everybody's story is different. Everybody can be a millionaire from boxing. So
right
I know that, but like I just want to be able to market myself well enough to where I can use boxing as a vehicle to help me out in my later life. So
yeah most definitely, bro, most definitely,
yeah.
man. I think that's a good spot to wrap it up right there, bro. I think we did some numbers today, bro. We had like at one point, I don't know if you could see on your end, bro. We had like 25 people in here listening, bro. So
I wasn't
man,
paying attention,
they're
man.
they're coming out heavy for you, bro. So you got a lot of
Yeah,
people in your corner, bro. So again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity, bro, just to chop it up with you and the take time out of your busy schedule. I know if you're anything like me, bro, you train, work, you know what I mean, and just living in
yeah.
general, bro. It's tough to balance everything. So I for real appreciate your time stopping in and chopping it up, bro, for sure.
Nah, man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Like I told you, man, I appreciate you taking the time out and interviewing me. So
Yeah,
definitely,
absolutely, man.
definitely
Absolutely.
humble.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. Well, and listen, bro, I'll be around Nashville quite a bit, man. I won't be surprised this is not the last time I see you, bro. So,
Yeah,
we'll definitely keep in contact, man. And I'll be
for sure, man.
regionals rather. I'll be rooting for you, bro. I'll be in your corner. Oh,
I
is there?
appreciate
Hey, so I'm gonna drop all your socials and everything. And I kind of already have. We've done a lot. We've done actually a decent amount of promo coming up to it. So,
it.
hey, we killed on the promo, bro. We were out here, man. Like we were out here a few days before. But yeah, man, most definitely. I'll drop all your socials, man. So you guys can go follow him on Instagram. I'll get what you get. Maybe if you got anything else you want to plug. Is there any sort of like I know they usually do like some kind of live stream, right, where people can watch if they want to
hmm
for regionals. If you want to, you can clip any of this stuff and drop the link in that. So the people that are watching from the Fight Night gang, I mean, they can come through, watch you, and whatnot, and be in your corner as well. So. That's
For
all it is, bro.
sure.
Just trying to uplift everybody. So
Most definitely, man. I hope they do have a stream link because they didn't have. I don't know. Yeah, they didn't stream the state one, so I
yeah.
hope we do have a stream links, and I'll definitely drop it.
Well, awesome, man. If you get it, drop it. If not, bro, we're in your corner, man. We'll be looking forward to hear how you do, man. So,
Most definitely, I appreciate it.
all right, big dog. Hey, you enjoy the rest of your night, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right, boss.
All right, man. Peace.
For sure.